Introduction of homeostasis. Homeostasis means maintaining of a constant internal environment when dealing with the external change. For example, our body keeps the temperature around 37 degrees Celsius, control blood pH, maintaining glucose level and balance water in the body. This is important because it supports enzyme activity, protect our cell and ensure survival.
Now I will explain how the mechanism of homeostasis work. Homeostasis is maintained through a simple control system with three main components. First, we have the receptor, which act as a sensor. Its job is to detect any changes in the internal environment. Next, the information goes to control center, usually the brain. The brain receives the signal, compare it with the normal range, and decide what response is necessary to bring the body back to normal. When we have the effector, this is the part of the body that carries out the actions. Most homeostasis process work through negative feedbacks. Negative feedbacks means reversing the change to return the body back to normal. One common example is body temperature regulation. When body temperature increase, the receptors send signal to the hypothalamus, and effector like sweat glands help cools the body. When we are too cool, muscle will shiver to produce heat. There is also positive feedback, which is less common. Instead of reversing a change, it amplifies it. Example include childbirth, where the cervix is stretched by the baby's head. This is detected by a receptor. The signal is sent to the brain, which tells pituitary glands to release oxytocin. Oxytocin causes the uterus muscle to contract more strongly. This stronger contraction increase the stretching of the cervix. This continue until the baby was born.
Next, I'll talk about the excretory system. The excretory system is one of the body's most important maintenance systems, working quietly every second to keep the internal environment clean and balanced. Excretion is the process of removing metabolic waste such as urea, excess salt, and toxin that will be harmful if left to accumulate in the bloodstream. What makes this system fascinating is its non-stop activities. Every minute, your kidneys filter about 1 liter of blood, meaning they clean your entire blood volume many times a day. Without this constant filtration, waste will build up rapidly, disturbing water balance, affecting iron concentration, and ultimately threatening survival. The excretion system ensure that the internal condition remains stable, allowing other systems, including the nervous and muscular system, to function smoothly. In short, it acts as the body's 24 hours cleaning and balancing service, protecting us silently but powerfully every day. Next, the major organ involved in the excretory system. At the center of this system are the kidneys, two powerful bean-shaped organs that act like natural filters. They work together with the ureters, bladder, and urethra to collect, store, and eliminate urine. Each organ plays the specific role. The kidney filter and purify the blood, the ureters transport urine, the bladder store it, and the urethra release it from the body.
I'm going to show the structure and the functions of the kidney. So we show the structure of the kidney first. So kidney has renal column that provides structural support and contain blood vessels. Then it has medullary pyramid that helps concentrate urine by reabsorbing water and salts. It also has calyx that collect urine from the pyramids. It also has renal artery and renal vein. Renal artery supplies oxygenated blood to the kidney, while renal vein carries deoxygenated blood away from the kidney back to the heart. It has pelvis that collects urine from calyces and channels it into the ureter. So ureter will transport urine from the kidney to the bladder using peristalsis. Kidney also has renal capsule that protects the kidney from injury and infection. And lastly, it has cortex that contains most of the nephrons and performs filtration of blood. Next, I'm going to explain about mechanism in nephron. So there are three main processes. First, it has filtration process in the Bowman's capsule and glomerulus. Blood enters the glomerulus under high pressure. Water, glucose, amino acids, salts, and urea are filtered out of the blood. Next, it has reabsorption in the proximal convoluted tubules to reabsorb bad useful substances that been filtered out except urea into the blood by diffusion or active transport. At the lobe of Henle, water is reabsorbed and salt is reabsorbed actively. At the distal convoluted tubule, some of the salt reabsorbed and water also reabsorbed depending on the body's need. So the third process is secretion at proximal and distal convoluted tubule. So it secretes hydrogen ions, potassium ions, and ammonium ions. And lastly, the final reabsorption of water at collecting duct and urine become concentrated. Next, there are three functions of the kidney. So the first functions of the kidney is filtration of water. So kidney filter out waste products such as urea, toxins, and drugs. Next, the second functions of the kidney is regulation of salt and electrolytes. So kidney controls levels of sodium ions, potassium ions, and calcium ions to keep our nerves and muscles working properly. And the last functions of kidney is regulation of pH. So kidney accesses hydrogen ion and reabsorbs bicarbonate to maintain proper blood pH, which is 7.4.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today I will present to you about urine formation and osmoregulation. So let's start first with urine formation. Urine formation happens in four main steps. Firstly is ultrafiltration. High pressure in the glomerulus pushes water, ions, glucose and urea into the Bowman's capsule to form the filtrate. Second is selective reabsorption in the PCT, where useful substances like glucose, amino acids, and important ions are returned to the blood. Third is secretion in the DCT, where the body adds waste such as drugs, toxins, and excess ions into the filtrate. Finally, excretion happens when the urine flows through the collecting duct, ureter, bladder, and then out through the urethra. Even though we filter about 180 liters of fluid a day, only around 1.5 liters become urine. The next part is osmoregulation and ADH. So what is osmoregulation? Osmoregulation is the process where the kidneys maintain the balance of water and salts. The key hormone involved is ADH, which is produced by the hypothalamus and released by the pituitary glands. ADH controls how much water is reabsorbed in the collecting ducts. When we are hydrated, the brain releases more ADH, which increases water reabsorption. This makes our urine dark and concentrated. When we are overhydrated, less ADH is released, so less water is reabsorbed, leading to dilute, pale urine. Basically, ADH is like a message telling the kidneys, don't waste water. Lastly, I will present to you about kidneys and homeostasis. The kidneys play a major role in homeostasis by controlling water levels, ions, and pH. In a dehydration situation, blood osmotic pressure rises. This triggers an increase in ADH, which causes the kidneys to keep more water inside the body, resulting in concentrated urine. In overhydration, osmotic pressure drops, ADH decreases, and the kidneys remove more water as dilute urine. Through these adjustments, the kidneys ensure our internal environments stay stable and suitable for cell function.
Next, I'll be explaining about disorders and treatments. For the first one, we have for the homeostasis disorders, which is diabetes mellitus. The problem is the body cannot maintain normal blood glucose levels. It is caused by lack of insulin resistance. And the symptoms are excessive thirst, fatigue, and frequent urination. For the treatments, we have insulin injections, medication which is metformin, and low sugar diet. For the second one, we have hypothermia, which is homeostasis disorders. The problem is body temperature becomes dangerously high. It is caused by dehydration, failure of cooling mechanism, which is sweating. And the symptoms are hot or dry skin, nausea, and confusion. For the treatments, we have hydration or IV fluids, move to a cool place, and use a cold packs or cool water. Next, we have kidney failure for the excretory system disorder. The problem is kidney cannot filter waste from blood. It is caused by diabetes, high blood pressure, and infections. The symptoms are swelling of legs and face, lack of urine, and fatigue. The treatments for the kidney failure disorder is dialysis, which is peritoneal, kidney transplant, and lastly, low salt and controlled protein diet. For the last part, which is conclusion, homeostasis is essential for maintaining a stable internal environment, ensuring that factors such as temperature, pH, water balance, and glucose levels remain within a healthy range despite changes outside the body. The excretory system, especially the kidneys, plays a vital role in this process by filtering the blood, removing metabolic waste, and regulating water, ions, and blood pressure. When homeostasis or kidney function is disrupted, various disorders such as diabetes, hyperthermia, kidney failure, and urinary tract infections can occur. Understanding these mechanisms and disorders help us appreciate how the body maintains balance and highlights the importance of early detection, healthy habits, and appropriate treatments to support overall physiological stability.